That's a normal shoe size.
She said she's a 6 in kids.
I'm about to put my foot up on the screen.
Happy chaos, that's our song. Loud and wild, but where we belong. Life's a sermon, love's the verse. Blessings big and a little reverse. Happy chaos, yeah, bring it on.
Welcome to Happy Chaos.
Where the chaos is happy.
Sometimes.
It's all the time.
It's not all the time.
I know.
I wish I was happy all the time.
Me too.
I want to be happy all the time.
Me too.
But I'm not. I'd be lying to say that I was happy all the time.
Well, you are a pastor, an incredible one, so that comes with a lot of weight on these shoulders, which is probably why you have back problems.
It could
It's
be
all the weight you're carrying.
It could be back problems, or it could be that I used to do gymnastics. That's
Both.
That's
Maybe
what
it's a
Kaylee
combo.
loves to say. Kaylee loves to say, "Oh well,
I do think that is Occam's razor.
that I used to do gymnastics and now
Yes.
I have back problems."
Very much so. That's very strenuous on your body.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those gymnasts though? They are jacked.
You're jacked.
I wish I was like that. I was like
You are.
gymnast jacked.
What?
Oh, have you seen those guys? Their arms, they got boulders for shoulders.
That's what you have. Stop. Seriously, you have huge arms and shoulders and stop. He's just being so dramatic right now.
Well, also because my back's been hurt, and so
It's been no workout.
yeah, the amount of people offering to like help me up and help me around and help me carry things is very demasculating. And even yesterday, Paul tried to offer to. He was like, "All right, man, hop on. I'll carry you up the steps." I was like, "Yeah, that would only be a little bit demasculating, Paul. Thank you for that." So, I'm gonna pass on
Yeah.
being carried or whatever. And I'm waiting. Now I'm gonna get the comments. That's pride. Well,
Pride comes before the fall.
it does, yeah. Or before the
There's
injured
nothing.
back.
There's nothing prideful about a man not wanting to be carried, but allow your peeps to help.
All right, here, carry my purse.
He's being spicy this morning already.
You know, I'm annoyed about my back still.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot better. Somebody let me borrow a inversion table yesterday, and that's helping. Although I did get motion sick after the third time that I used it, so
It's a lose-lose,
I
man.
know that didn't. It's not helping my case here.
Oh, don't get old, people. Don't get old. Just kidding. He's young. He's a little spring chicken.
Kaylee came in the room yesterday. She didn't know I was in the laundry room doing some laundry, and the inversion table was in the workout room right outside of the laundry room. And she walked in, and all the other kids were there getting ready to leave. And she goes, "Oh, is that Dad's old man upside down table?" And I just leaned out of the
Laundry room.
and I was like, "That's a $5 statement right there."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I didn't mean, I didn't. That's what Phoebe called it." And Phoebe's like, "I didn't call it that." And so, anyways,
Oh, she's making things cheap on us.
yeah, that's true. David, I know you watch these, and so
I don't think he commented this past week. I think he's upset with me for calling him out. But I would do it again.
Wow.
I know, but I did apologize to him in person. I said, I'm sorry for calling you out. I had to, though.
I'm sorry, but I had. You can't say I'm sorry. You know, that's what today's episode is going to be about. I wonder if I could find a video about that.
Yeah, you should try.
I
I can make one.
Apologies don't have butts.
It'd be weird if they did.
Well, a lot of people try to put them on there.
I mean, yeah, I do that a lot.
You can't say I'm sorry, but.
I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have done that.
You have to end it at I'm sorry.
but
No.
you shouldn't have upset me. I'm just kidding. That's
There-
him. He's like that. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Anyways.
Anyways is right.
Someone wants me to record my anyways. We'll read that comment here in a second.
I think I saw Jody say that.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, this is Happy Chaos. Episode.
60s. Is it today 66?
No.
Today 67?
Yep, because last week I said 66. It's your
Oh, yeah.
number and the books of the Bible.
Today's 6-7. I was so corny.
We're so old. We're gonna get some flack for that one.
You know what me and Sarah used to do?
What?
We would, to annoy the kids, she would put her fingers like that, and I would put them like that. And then we'd go hashtag whatever, and the kids would get all mad, and you just don't say that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
You know what I used to do to annoy the kids? Talking my English accent.
They got annoyed by that?
They get so annoyed. Stop talking like that. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know why. I don't know why they get so upset with it.
I don't know.
Kids.
I always throw out an accent, but I can only do it if I'm not thinking about it and I'm just being funny. Then I can make it happen. But if you ask me to make an accent, like if you ask me to talk in an English accent right now, I can't do it. And then it comes out goofy, and I don't know. I get nervous.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it right there. I can't do it.
He gets nervous, y'all.
It's true.
Some of you don't think he does, but he does.
Yes, some people do not think that I get nervous,
I know.
and they take advantage of that. Anyways,
Did you get nervous asking me to marry you? Like, you're like, I don't know if she's going to say yes or not.
no, I was not nervous about that.
I should have joked around with you, but that's not a joking around moment.
Yeah, if you could have joked around in that moment, I've heard of, who did I hear that did that? They had this girlfriend. I'm trying to, if it's you, if I'm talking about, it's somebody that I know well. They said that their wife jokes around all the time, like just constantly joking. That's when she gets nervous, she starts, joking around. And so he got down on one knee in front of this, I think they were at a restaurant or something. And he asked her to marry him, and she starts joking. She's like, no way. And he's like, honey, it's not the time. It's not the time for that.
I wish I was cool and I could do that. I should have done that. I should have said, oh, can we talk off camera?
I'm getting mad just thinking about it.
And then when we get off camera, I say, of course I'll marry you. And you would have said, I take it back.
I would have been like, see ya. Walked off.
Well, look at all of you, what you'd be missing.
Yep, all the
things.
All the things.
He's in such a grumpy mood today.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be grumpy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyways, episode 6-7.
Anyways, I didn't really pay attention to how much you said anyways.
I didn't either. In fact, when I just said it, I was like, wait a minute, there it is. Because when I read that comment, I'm like, well, how do I say it? Is it like a anyways? Is it like that attitude anyways? Or is she talking about when I'm like,
no, usually
anyways?
it's when you're trying to shift. Especially when you've said something you shouldn't say, and then you're trying to get off of it. Anyways.
Oh gosh, I'm not even slap happy. It's early in the morning.
Don't say it again.
I am. Anyways, I almost need a toothpick to open my eyes this morning.
Yeah, you were sleepy.
So sleepy. I still am a little, but I'll be okay.
Hey, we've got comments to get to, and then today we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna watch some. Trending. I don't know if viral is the right word, but trending marriage advice videos, and then we're gonna give you our personal ratings. Now, we should just tell you that our personal ratings amount to nothing, but
That's not even true.
they amount to everything.
Listen, we have experience on top of experience because
Oh, yeah.
we had experience with our first spouses and now with each other. And so we've had both worlds. We've had two totally different personalities each.
Oh yeah.
So we have a lot to say.
Do you feel like in some ways that you like role reversed with I feel like in a lot of ways that Sarah, my late wife, used to do things certain ways, and I did not. And then when she passed, I took on those roles. And then when I'm with you, now I'm still doing those roles. And I'm like, I feel like I kind of role reversed a little bit. And I do
definitely,
things.
with the stories that you tell, I definitely think there's some things that you do
Yeah.
that Sarah used to do.
Oh, I'm telling you. I know there are. But do you feel the same way? Do you feel like you
No.
did? You don't feel like you took anything?
No, I feel like I'm still, I'm still me, and
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I feel like I took on things, and then I think for me I think that a series of events went that because Sarah passed and I took those on when I was single.
yeah,
That then now that because I was single for what 3.5 years, almost 4 years.
well, not married.
That's what I mean.
Single is without boyfriend or girlfriend too.
Oh my word, we're gonna
It
have
is.
a conversation about this later. Look, I'm not saying I wasn't single and I wasn't dating you. I just meant not married.
Just
so
just say not married. You weren't single for.
I did not have a wife at home taking care of the home like a wife does
For 3.5 years.
for 3.5 years. There are some things that Kelly and we don't always
We sure don't.
and verbalizing relationship things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we're not gonna. Anyways, but the reason I don't feel like I've changed or taken on, because me and Jonathan were like identical. He was the male version of me, except my bull side that comes out with you. that didn't come out then, and so it was like, we were just the same in so many ways. Like the way we parented, the way that we did things. I don't know. It was just. It wasn't like he was a clean freak. And like when we first started dating, like my straightener would be left down and clothes. Oh. So nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And you're a clean freak also. So kind of stepped into that one all over again.
It's like those Instagram videos where you see the guy that's like, oh, I'm just trying to keep things picked up for my wife. And he like picks up his toothbrush, there's his clean sink. He picks up his toothbrush, he puts his toothbrush away. And then as he pans away, there's like all her stuff all over her side of the. We only have one sink, so we don't have that. If we did, it would be identical to that. It would
Probably.
be, me putting away my one thing. And then there's Kelly's 90.
I need to clean out our closet today. That's my goal, is to finish painting our new pantry and to clean out our closet.
I'm down for anytime anybody says clean anything. I'm down. I'm like Danny Tanner in that way. I'll clean the cleaning products.
I mean, sometimes the cleaning products do have to be cleaned.
Sometimes they do, seriously.
I know.
Especially the little baskets and things that
I've
stuff
done
gets-
that several times. And then there's the drawer in the kitchen that needs to be reorganized, but it's so aggravating because I organize it and then 5 days later, tornado.
It's like the refrigerator too. We just cleaned out the refrigerator last night. There has been this odor in the refrigerator, and I still.
It's like a fruity odor.
It's not fruity. It's like rotten fruity. It is, and so y'all, we have. First of all, I could taste it in the ice, and so I changed out the filter, the water filter. Nope, still have this kind of like. It's not heavy, but it's there. Like there's a, and so I went through and I cleared out. I pulled out everything that seemed like it was old. Nothing. I'm throwing away stuff that's like, oh, this was, expired on July 6th. And, this isn't super bad stuff, but I'm going to get rid of it. If it's out of date, anything, I cleared everything. Still nothing. So then last night we emptied the entire refrigerator and cleaned everything in the refrigerator. Now there were a few things that maybe I did find that somebody had spilled a little bit of pickle juice in a tray. And they didn't clean it out. So I'm like, could pickle juice be doing it? I mean, sure, that can be pungent, but it doesn't smell like pickles. Like the other smell, it would make sense if I was like, oh, this smells like vinegar or pickles
Yeah.
but it didn't. So I still do not know. But nonetheless, we have now emptied the entire refrigerator. And
So our
cleaned-
smell should be gone.
It better be, because I am Otherwise, I don't know. I might get a new refrigerator. Like, I can't take that smell.
Stop.
I put a baking soda thing in there. Remember when your mom used to do that?
We got this refrigerator not even 6 months ago.
I have never had
4 months ago.
I've never had a refrigerator smell, and I couldn't get. I mean, I've had a smell come out of the refrigerator, but then I find it. You know, you go through, you find what's old, and you throw it away. I've never had something that's like this hidden.
Maybe some raspberries jumped into the ice maker and they're just living there.
I don't know. I feel like the only thing that would be left would be to take the back off of it and look and see if something fell inside the back.
I can't. We could just get a new refrigerator. That way we can just move that one to the new pantry. And then
Well, we still have a stinky refrigerator.
but it won't be making ice because it'll be in the pantry. So
What if it's the ice itself? Like, what if it's the ice maker?
what if
How do you fix that?
you can't? We got to get a new refrigerator. We'll go to Lowe's later. No, Home Depot. We don't shop at Lowe's. And we urge you not to shop at Lowe's.
They have been, well, at least our local one was really bad.
They have poor customer service.
Yeah, they're always angry at us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the simplest thing. I'm like, hey, can I get somebody to help me get that thing from that shelf? And they are.
Oh, and we got like
You've ruined their day.
ended up with like $2,500 in Lowe's gift cards from our wedding. And the $500 one that we had didn't. When they tried to now this has happened several times, so I know that the $500 was on there, but they rang it out and they took like 92 cents off of our purchase, and we're like, "There's $500 on this card," and they're like, "Sorry." Then it happened with every one of the gift cards that we've gotten since then, and I said, "No, we have not spent anything." And when you get a good manager, they'll go further into it, and they're like, "Okay, I see here you didn't spend anything," and they had to push a few buttons, and boom, the total comes up. So we lost $500. Which is very aggravating.
Super aggravating.
So don't go to Lowe's. Lowe's blows.
I did send Kelly a video yesterday that said, be forewarned if your wife or if your girlfriend says that she's not high maintenance, it means that she's Lowe's maintenance.
Anyway.
Kelly's both.
I'm not high maintenance.
We've been over this.
I'm not.
She is.
No, because see, nobody actually came out and said that I'm high maintenance.
Your husband, who knows you the most.
Yeah, but you're a man, and so
I've gone over the list of high maintenance things, and she meets all the requirements. We're poor high maintenance, but I mean we're still high maintenance. There's maintenance to be done. We just have to find the most economical way to make it happen.
Speaking of which, can we order some cabinets today for my pantry?
Oh my word!
I'm asking you in front of everybody.
Can we talk about it later?
No, I need you to say yes so I can hold your feet to the fire.
Do I get to say no? Is there an option to say no?
No.
There you have it.
Why would you say no?
Because we're going on vacation in a few
but
weeks.
this pantry is for our house.
That pantry is not going anywhere. That room.
I know it's sitting empty.
Let's talk about it later.
That's cute. I'll bring it up at the end of the show.
Oh my word!
All right.
We're finally going to get to your all's comments.
Here we
Most
go.
of these are coming off of Facebook. All of these are coming off of Facebook.
Yeah.
So if you want your comment read, that's where you got to put it.
Brooke Hardesty. When I was little, under 6, I ran away from home with a pair of jelly shoes on.
Oh yeah, you were talking about your jelly shoes and then you fell.
I'll tell you about that in a minute. I thought I had everything I needed. Mom waved me by in the driveway. Jelly shoes are not the shoes to wear for walking. I was just talking about the game for Nintendo, the mat one, where you run and jump. I miss that. I miss all of it. And let me tell you, I ran away too when I was like 5 or 6.
It's totally tracks.
I pulled out my suitcase and I started packing it. And my mom walked over and said, "Let me help you pack." And she starts helping me. And I said, "I'm going to move with my aunt. I'm going to live with her. I am not doing this."
This tracks. This whole story tracks.
And she helped me pack my suitcase. And then about 5 minutes later, she let me stay home from school. And she's like, "I'm sorry. Let's have a day together."
Is that still a thing? Like, I don't hear about kids threatening to run away anymore. Like, I've not heard.
That's because they just do it. They just do what they want. Parents just don't care anymore.
I don't listen. I feel like when I was a kid, every parent was like telling the story about when their kid said they were going to run away.
We were like the runaway.
But I don't hear any new parents. Anybody that's got, kids under the age of 10, I don't hear of anybody
Because
being
they're
like,
I wish they'd run away.
I just don't hear anybody saying my 5-year-old said he was going to run away and, start packing it. My mom,
Put our jellies on.
my brother said he was going to run away. And my mom's like, let me get the suitcase down. And so she pulls the suitcase down.
See?
He starts packing up the suitcase. He gets to the front door with his little suitcase packed because he's hard-headed and,
Yeah.
And so he's like at the front door and she's like, nope, you're not just going out in the wilderness. No way. Nope, I'm going to take you to the orphanage. Just wait right there. I'll get my keys. And so she tells him she's going to take him to the orphanage because he can't just go run
Well,
away.
that's not part of running away then. Then you're just dropping them off at the orphanage.
Well,
No,
there's
when you want to
still a
run away,
5-year
you
there's still a 5-year-old kid, so that's the way that goes. So he listened because he was 5, and so he was mad, and he was waiting to be taken to the orphanage, and then he started crying, and
I don't want to go to the orphanage.
right, exactly. So
Oh, was that Chris?
yeah, yeah.
That's where his hate for hugs came into play. I'm gonna break that though.
Oh.
He's gonna be asking everyone in church for hugs.
Well, good luck with that.
That's what he said too.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
So, I used to not be a hugger. I used to be just like that. I'd refuse hugs. I didn't, and I'd always have like reasons for it. But at the end of the day, after my wife passed, I was like, life is too short.
Yeah.
I can't be like that.
Yeah.
People need to know that you love them. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy jellies for me and Brooke.
Oh.
I'm gonna find a way.
Well, you could probably still fit in some jellies. I don't know if other adult. Her feet are so small, y'all.
They are not small. I'm a size 7 and I'm a size 6 in kids. That's a normal shoe size.
She said she's a 6 in kids.
I'm about to put my foot up on the screen. So help me. So help me. I'm about to wait until we get off camera. Bigfoot.
I mean, you could probably put 2 of your feet to make one.
That's not even true. Told you.
Well,
My big toe comes to your baby toe.
maybe.
Anyway.
They're still pretty. I'll pick up shoes, and I very legitimately.
He does not. He does this to be.
Why are you interrupting? I pick up shoes, and I think all the time, I'm like, are these Kelly's? And I'll go put them in our room, and she'll go, or the other way around, I'll think, are these Mila's, our youngest daughter? I'll pick them up, and I'll say, are these Mila's? Kelly will go, those are mine.
He does know. He
don't
does know
know.
which shoes are mine and which shoes are hers.
I do not, and especially now that we have this thrift store for church, there are so many shoes and dresses coming in and out. I can't keep up, so I legitimately do not know. I pick them up and I'm like, "Who?"
Want to answer the spam call on air?
No.
I know they're stupid and boring. They just hang up.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, well, Brooke, I don't know if you could fit in some jellies, but I'm sure that Kelly could.
Anyways, Jody Ballard, I had a lighted up corded phone and loved it. I also had a bunch of Swatch watches. Me too. Oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about those. And different bands. Loved those. And I loved book fairs. That's my girl. Kelly, do a record of you saying, anyways. Love when you say that. He loves it too.
I didn't even notice it before, but now I do. Like, ever since I read that comment, because when you said it, Jody, I was like, does she say anyways? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, she does. Anytime she wants to skirt out of,
Stop.
it's her transition call. Anyways.
She said, Team Justin Laughy Face. I don't remember the dial by directory thing. I guess we didn't have it.
Huh, and Jody's in Florida.
Ah, shoot.
Y'all, Kelly, I did not realize until this last week that Kelly grew up rich.
I did not grow up rich.
She was on that side of the tracks, but not the bad side. We were on the bad side. We were on the poor side. I'm sure her parents were like, no, we don't go over there. We don't go.
No, they weren't like
We don't go to that side.
They weren't like that. Another fun episode, she says. I'm a little sad too, Kelly, because I sure miss those old days growing up and all the great things we had. I agree. We had a good childhood.
We did. We had a good run.
Vicky Q will be great. I love you guys. And also, here's a saying: I made you look, you dirty crook. You stole your mama's pocketbook. 100%. We've said that a million times.
You said that one?
Yes. We would get golf balls, cut them open, and get those rubber bands
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I've never cut a golf ball. I didn't know there was rubber bands in the center of
Yeah,
them.
sure enough. Yeah. Golf balls and get rubber bands out. I'm telling you.
I think you guys are pulling my leg.
We would also do baseballs and softballs. You'd open up those. Most of the time, they didn't have rubber bands. There was I opened up a baseball one time. It had all these like brown looking rubber bands, but they were so, I don't know, they were so sticky to each other. I couldn't get them off of there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Susan Mathery.
Well, she got us the pronunciation.
Yep.
Last name is pronounced
Easy Bake
Mathery.
Oven. I had one in the late 60s and early 70s. My last name is pronounced Mathery. Sorry for correcting. Laugh out loud. She's so cute. A.A. Ron, living in Wisconsin when Aaron Rodgers was the Green Bay Packer quarterback. We called him that. We use that all the time, too.
We use it because of the Keenan and Peele skit.
Yeah.
You done messed up, A.A. Ron.
Oh, yes, Carmen Sandiego, fun song. Yes, troll dolls were weird looking. I grew up in the 1970s, muscle cars, great era. My girls had Beanie Babies. They were fun, all different animals. We got some at garage sales.
That was the
Jinx
only way
was
that you
fun.
could. That's the only way you could get them.
Still loving the podcast, Justin. These 90s episodes have been fun. Love the banter between the two of you.
I'm glad you still like the banter.
What are you looking for?
Was that the all button?
Yeah,
No.
they don't. You don't have an all button anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of
Fancy.
crappy.
fancy Facebook. Well, we appreciate you all commenting and
Very
being here.
much.
We are going to look at some videos.
Yes, we are.
I don't know exactly how this will work, but for now, I'm going to pull them up here and we're going to watch them here. And then my goal will be to superimpose them so that you guys can watch along with us. I know I'm getting a whole bunch of texts. I was trying to keep up
I
with
know.
what's going on. There's so much going on, y'all. So much in life happening. If I put that way far back, how about that in the shot? Is that good for you? You're not listening.
I am sorry. It was just I saw the word stroke, and so
Yeah. Yep, I know. So many things. Okay, but here's what we have. I've got a few videos pulled up of marriage advice.
is there a reason it's canted like this instead?
Yeah, because that's what I just said to you. I said, look, if I put it way far back, because I put it up, it's like way up in the screen.
yeah.
I could put it back a little bit, and then it's out of the screen.
Okay.
You want me to put it up? Here, it's okay, guys. We'll just put this in front of our face. We'll just watch these. You guys can.
Stop. They can see our heads and our faces. They can see the tops of our shoulders. Your boulders for shoulders.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, so I've pulled some clips here, some marriage clips, and we're gonna watch these and we're gonna rate them.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how they go, and then I don't know. We'll see. I think this one you're gonna be in agreement with. There's not gonna be an issue with this one.
Okay.
We'll see. I've pre-screened these.
All right.
Kelly has not. So you're getting Kelly's live reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This one's from Bryce Crawford. Do you know
All
this guy?
Yes, I've seen him.
Yeah, I like Bryce. So here was him on a podcast, and here's something he's saying about biblical manhood. I don't think you have a problem with this one. We'll see.
Because your role as a man, when you get married, this is sobering, is you have to be willing to die for your wife. Ephesians says, when you get married, the role of you as a husband is you better be willing to lay your life down for your wife. The same way Jesus Christ has laid his life down for the church, his people.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Does a man have to be willing to lay his life down for his wife?
Yes, absolutely. I think both need to be willing to lay their lives down for each other. And yeah, I think we live in a very selfish world that people, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to die to pride when you're in a fight and you don't want to be the first to apologize or you don't think that you're wrong. And so it's hard to say sorry when you don't think that you're wrong, because that's where the but comes in. I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry that you felt offended by.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. Is
Yeah.
it always gets me when somebody like tries to caveat. You can tell they're not saying that they did something wrong.
Right.
They're like, well,
I mean, if
I'm
you
sorry.
didn't do something wrong, though.
I'm sorry that you hurt that I hurt your feelings. What do you mean you're sorry that you hurt my feelings? No, what did you do wrong that hurt my feelings? You should be sorry. It's not just sorry that I hurt your feelings.
But that's also pride on the other side. If you think about it, I want you to admit what you did.
I think when somebody's done wrong though and they're apologizing, if the apology is sincere, then there can be a way forward.
I think that it can be sincere and not having to go into full disclosure of everything, because I think that there could be some discrepancies inside of an argument that, okay, I was wrong in these ways, but in these ways I wasn't. But I don't want to be prideful and be like, oh, well, and I'm sorry for this, but I'm not sorry for this. So I think in overall, I'm sorry that we fought. I'm sorry for the things that I've done in this argument. I think is still a genuine apology. He doesn't agree,
Nope.
even though he's like that sometimes.
Oh, I can be, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm just saying that when I get to the point that I try to apologize, I try to tell myself, at that point, I need to apologize for the wrongdoing that I've had, and I need to be specific for that, and I don't need to like try to make it. I just feel like sometimes people put digs in their apologies. They're. I'm sorry that you're so thin-skinned that you're da-da-da-da-da. Well, that's not an apology. You just took another dig and said, I'm sorry before you took another dig. And so, I just try to be more specific with my apologies and I don't try to put a but on them. But I think that more to this video, I think more to the point of this video about being willing to die to yourself, there's something to be said about when you come into marriage. He's saying that a man should be willing to lay down his life for his wife. I totally agree. But the
Oh,
reality...
you just did a but.
But I'm not apologizing.
It's true.
I'm saying that here's the part that I don't totally... I agree with what he's saying in this video. My addition, I'm trying not to argue with him because I don't mind too much of what he's saying. But what I'm saying is that he is saying a man needs to be willing to lay down his life. Sure. I've seen these videos that say it like this. They're like, you say that you would die for your family. Okay, great. But would you live for your family? Would you be willing to get in shape? Would you be willing to take the vacation, spend the money, spend the time, put off other people, take away the things that you want to do for the things that they want to do? And so what I'm saying is that the likelihood of you having to lay down your life for your wife is probably not going to happen.
Well, yeah, but I think dying to self isn't about dying.
Right. And there's probably more to this clip. I'm saying within this, more to this actual whole podcast that he's in. But I'm saying that in this clip, he's talking about dying for you ought to be willing to die for your wife. I get that. You ought to be willing to die for your life. Are you willing to lay down your life, the life that you still live? It's kind of like what Paul says when he's talking in the Bible, when he's like in Romans, that we present our bodies a living sacrifice. Or Paul says that, I've been crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live. And yet the life that I live, I now live. It's now Christ that lives in me. And so you're laying your life down as this living sacrifice. In marriage, you should be laying your life down, not just in okay, I'm willing to die. I'd jump in front of a moving train for you, or I'd take a bullet for you. Yes,
Right.
I would do all of those things, but the likelihood that I'm going to take a bullet for you is very slim.
Yeah.
So I'm probably not going to have to dive in front of a shooting gun to try to save you, though I would. So the bigger question is, am I willing to lay down my life, my wants, my desires,
Your pride.
my pride?
Yeah.
Am I willing to lay that down, even in an apology?
Yeah.
Am I willing to lay that down? And I think that is both ways in marriage. I think both people, if you have both people willing to serve the other person by putting all of their needs first, all of their wants first, and putting all of yours second or even further down the line. Like I will do what I want last or what's good for me last.
Right.
That's what I want to do. I want to take care of, I think society wants to say, like, take care of yourself first. But in marriage, if you want to make your marriage work, my recommendation is to say, put yourself last,
Yep.
not first.
Yeah.
And in that, you're fulfilling the kingdom of God, because the Lord said that in his kingdom, the last would be first and the first would be last.
Yeah. Nothing. I agree.
Is that too heavy?
Not too heavy.
Okay. all
I
right.
agree. I think both have to lay their lives down, have to lay their wants and desires for the other person.
Yep. Okay, I like this guy. He is challenging sometimes. I don't know if this guy's a Christian or not. I see some of his stuff. Sometimes I agree. Sometimes I disagree. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna. I literally, there's another one that I think I'm like, oh, I think I know, but it's not gonna be a good reaction from you. But this one, I don't know. I'm curious what you're gonna say. I'm gonna refresh this though, because I want to make sure it plays from the beginning.
The sad truth is that love will never be enough to save your relationship, at least not the way today's culture has defined it. Frankly, I don't even care that you love each other. Anyone with a pulse in their brain can fall in love. But I had to learn the hard way that love doesn't sustain a relationship. Connection and intimacy and safety and trust do. And those require a lot more than just love, don't they? That's great that you love each other. Here's a better question. Do you respect each other? Does your partner feel respected and valued? Do you even care anymore? Do you work to appreciate each other? Do you serve each other mutually? Can you take accountability when you mess up? Can you repair conflicts together? Can you listen when they say you accidentally hurt them? Can you be vulnerable? Are you a safe place for them to be vulnerable and honest about what they need to feel valued? Because love's not going to be enough. How you love each other is what's going to make the difference.
All right, what do you think? He says, he starts the video, you couldn't hear, it'll be superimposed on here, so it'll be able to hear it, but he says, love is not enough in your relationship. And then he goes on this, the rest of
I know that I'm a hopeful romantic, and I know that I'm all about love and hearts and rainbows and sunshine, but I 100% agree with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
100%
Love
agree.
does not sustain a relationship and a marriage.
Ooh. I think, the one redeeming factor that he has to this video, in my opinion, is that he says, at least not in the way that we define love.
Yeah.
Because
I would agree with that. That's what I mean by, I know I'm the hopeless romantic, and where it's like, oh, we love each other, and so that's everything. As much as great as that sounds, but like I know where you're going with this, because love is sacrifice. Like genuine love is sacrifice and servitude.
So genuine love, I think that's the thing. If you're defining love as this person, I see them and I want to be around them, and I love being near them, and all of this, that, and the other type of like
Infatuation love is not sustainable.
Right. That will never be sustainable.
Yes.
I think they're pretty. I think they're good looking. I think they're fun to be around.
Yeah.
All of those things are not love. Those are things you like about that person.
Right, and you get to see the ugliest sides of people when you're in a relationship.
Right.
Not
so
just the
if you love someone, and I know you and I have had a disagreement before about this definition, but for me, if you love someone, then you are willing to put up with the parts that you don't love.
It's not an emergency or anything.
I know. I hope so too. So if you're sorry, guys, my phone is blowing up. We're late in the morning, and so you're getting a view. The texts are going off, the calls are going off. But we'll wrap up here in a little bit. I'll make a call back. But the point I'm making to love is that love is not simply the infatuation that I love being around them. Love is, even though they've done this, I still love them, and because of my love for them, I'm willing to stay. I'm willing to stick it out. I'm willing to try to help. I'm willing to try to make it better. If I don't, my point to that is always, if I look at it from the other end, if I don't love something, or I know I'm supposed to love everyone, but if the truth is that I'm not like loving this person, the more I love somebody, the more I'm going to like put up with their stuff, and I'm going to deal with the hard things because I love them and I want what's best for them. And there does come a point when I go, I don't have enough space in my life to deal with that thing with that person.
Well, except except for in a marriage covenant, because see, where I know you said that we've argued about this, but where I differ in this is you've made a covenant. And so
There's some differ there.
you can get to a point where it's like, well, I'm putting up with your stuff because I made a covenant with you, and I either want that covenant to be miserable or joyful. And so I think that's what I feel when I hear you say things like that. It's like, are you just putting up with me, or, you know? So I think that's where.
I think we're saying the same thing though. Like if I love somebody enough to make that covenant with them, I've said till death do us part. So I love you. I'm not just putting up with something in the sense of like that's all there is to this is just putting up with you. I'm saying that no matter how bad it gets, I said for better or for worse. So no matter how bad it gets, I am going to work to make this work. I'm going to, what I do agree with in the video that he said, he was like, okay, so you say you love each other, but do you respect each other? Are you willing to admit fault? Are you willing to be a safe place for them? Are you willing to take accountability when you've accidentally hurt them? I go, oh, for me, like that is all of those things that he's defining is actually the definition of love, because you'll do those things with yourself. If that's how Paul describes it in the Bible. He says you ought to love your wife the way that Christ loves the church, which is what, Bryce was saying a moment ago. And I would say of that, if, Paul said it this way, he's like, nobody hates his own body. You ought to love your wife like you love your own body. And I say the same thing, like in our relationship, we ought to love each other, all of those things. He defined it at the end of this video. He said, how do you love each other? It's not just that you love each other, but how do you love each other? And I agree with that statement. I think that your definition of what love is, and then how you're going to react with the person that you love. Because I can tell you that there are people that I'm like, I love that person, but I'm not going to do that with them. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm not going to fight for this. If they want to walk, how many people have you heard me say, I'm like, hey, if they want to walk away, I'm not chasing that. If you walk away, that's different. I'm chasing you.
Because you're in a covenant with me.
Because I love you that much. I'm in a covenant with you because I love you.
Yeah. I just think that you can walk away from everybody else on this planet, but you cannot walk away from me. You can, but you're breaking a covenant that you made with God.
I feel like there's a threat in that. She was like,
no, there's no threat.
You ain't getting away from me.
No, stop. I'm just saying, I don't know. I agree. I really do agree with most of what he's saying, but I think there's so much more to it than being a safe place for someone. I think it's also in the, dying to self to the point where it's like, well, I'm willing to take into consideration the other person's love language and how they receive love and how I'm giving that love and how we're, and then on the other person's end, how am I giving the love? Am I speaking that person's love language? And yeah.
I kind of feel like we agree.
Yeah, I think we agree.
There was a question I wanted to ask with these.
He seems soft to me, so.
Oh, I mean, he is, like the way that he talks and stuff. But I'll tell you, he says some challenging things. I've seen some of his other videos, and he'll do this thing where he'll like play the female role, and then he'll like put a towel on his head like he's his, his wife or whatever. But he'll play kind of both roles, and he'll present a scenario, and I've just seen a few that I'm like, oh man, he's kind of.
I'll have to watch a few because
yeah.
I'm kind of like instantly turned off on this video for a lot of reasons, but he could be a good guy that knows what he's saying.
I'm not advocating for him all. I don't know all of his stuff. I don't watch, but I've seen a few other things that I'm like, oh, that's challenging. And I even think what he said here, I think he's challenging when he says love is not enough. To me, like I just get. My Bible nerd side comes out and I'm like, faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. There's no greater love than this, that a man would lay down his life.
Right.
So to me, I think if you're going to look at the biblical definition of love,
then yes,
then love is enough, because love is going to incorporate all of the things.
Exactly.
I guess that's maybe the better way to say what I was trying to say, which is I think actual love is going to incorporate all of these things and more.
I would agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of the greatest, strongest, healthiest marriages were rebuilt after seasons of great pain, great hurt, great darkness, whatever it is. And from experience, we can say that that is very true. You know, we've had many, many seasons of pain, hurt, and all the things, but every time we took a leap of faith to hit reset, we believe that our marriage came back stronger, wiser, and better.
All right. Do you think that marriages come back stronger and wiser after seasons of pain or darkness?
I think sure they do. I think that relationships definitely that have seen tougher times in any kind of relationship that have seen tough times and they've gone through tough times together, I think it strengthens a marriage. But I disagree that you have to go through a season of hard times in order for your marriage to be great or for it to be the best of the best.
I think it's a means of growth.
Yes.
Maybe it's not the only. I think they kind of start out saying like the greatest marriages, kind of view. And so I would say, I think there's definitely something to the idea of, the old saying is no pain, no gain, right? And so if you're thinking about anything that grows, going through something hard and then making it through that hard thing, it gives you testimony. It absolutely adds strength. It bonds people together. I think those
gives you wisdom.
Yeah, it gives you wisdom that you didn't have before. But I think for the marriage itself, I don't know that somebody who hasn't gone through hardship cannot understand or
Right.
work or have a great marriage. I think somebody
Yes.
could have a great marriage, and if they're so blessed that they have not walked the road of trials together, that doesn't they might be lacking some wisdom that trials bring, but that doesn't mean they lack all wisdom. I mean,
Right.
they probably have wisdom in a different way.
Exactly.
And truthfully, I find that sometimes the hardest times to like think about your relationship with the Lord. When you were walking the hardest times, you prayed the most, worshiped the hardest. At least I did. I mean, I prayed more than I've ever prayed when my wife got sick, when she died. More time in prayer than any other time in my life. Probably in a lot of time combined. I mean, there was just so much time in prayer and reading God's word and trying to get into a place of worship. In the hardest season of my life, it drove me to that. So absolutely. But, I find it to be sometimes when life is good and things are good and money is good and everything seems to be kind of flowing for a moment. Now, those moments are fleeting. Usually those are the in-between other
Right.
trials moments. But when I'm in that moment, sometimes I find it that it's like, oh, I haven't been praying as much as I should.
Yeah.
I haven't been reading my Bible as much as I should. It's almost like it's easy to get distracted. Well, I would say the same for a marriage. Maybe the thought there is, it's if you have somebody that has a good marriage and they're working on their marriage, but it wasn't trials that forced them into that forced their hand. Maybe they have a wisdom there that you don't necessarily have in the other way. Like,
Yes.
On the one hand, it's like, well, you had to twist your arm to get there. And somebody else is like, well, you didn't have to twist my arm. I just wanted to be there. I wanted
Right.
to have a good marriage. And so,
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that, so I differ from other widows in this area where it's like, well, I wish I had known because I would have changed so many things. I would have been more attentive. I would have been more this or more that. We literally were that in my first marriage. I cherished every second. There was no oh, I got so annoyed with them. We could spend every second of every day together, roll your eyes, kind of a sweet.
here they are canoodling again.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
I'd never heard the word canoodling before, Kelly.
So I would say it does not take hardships. Yes, we went through some stuff prior to dating where, people were saying things about me, saying untrue things, accusing me of being somebody that I wasn't and trying to keep Jonathan from me. But he didn't listen. He followed his gut and said no. And we had an amazing relationship, amazing marriage. And there was never any part of me, even after he passed. I think the biggest thing that I took away, and I know I'm kind of veering off here, but it kind of falls in line with the hardships thing. The biggest thing that I took away from Jonathan getting sick and dying was my control issues, which still pop up. But I thought that I could control things, and I thought that I could keep him, and but I realized very quickly that God is in control, and that I need to just let it go and trust the Lord, wholly trust the Lord, that He's got, the best for me. That I don't need to, when you talk about chemo and stuff like that, I was at a point where everybody was telling me all these different things, and my ultimate was the Lord is going to do what He's going to do, whether I choose chemo or don't choose chemo. Now I have different reasons for never wanting to touch chemo. I saw it destroy the quality of life that he had before he passed away. But ultimately, there was a time and a day for him. There's a time and a day for me. There's a time and a day for you. I got worried after Charlie Kirk got assassinated because I thought, you're so bold and you're preaching, and what if? And then I immediately rebuked that, because I'm not in control of that. We're not in control of that. You have a day and you have a time. I have a day and I have a time. So overall, I don't think that you have to have hardship to cherish the marriage and relationship and have a great marriage.
Yeah, I think that I just look at you and I as the example of that.
I was just going to say, and then
so here's a different way of looking at it, which is we have not really had hardship in our marriage.
Right.
I mean, there are things that I could point at and say, this is really difficult that we're trying to deal with. And,
yes.
And, there have been difficulties that have been thrown our way.
But I think that's where we're strengthened from what we went through in widowhood.
Right. So I could, again, like I said, I think it's a means.
Yeah.
I think making it through hardship, and, she said in the video, taking a leap of faith. I think if I'm interpreting that correctly, I'm, assuming what she means by that is like staying together, fighting through it, getting through it, doing whatever thing you have to do to get through that hardship. I say that in such a broad way, because if it's financial hardship or health, or, if it's marital, if it's, some sort of relationship, infidelity, something like that. I've seen couples that have gone through infidelity and come out on the other side stronger because they took a leap of faith and they stayed together. But it would be foolish to think that, everybody who goes through infidelity, that they come out stronger.
For sure.
I think in many, many, many ways that would weaken a relationship.
For me.
It would put a huge strain on a relationship.
Yep.
So I'm saying that it's a means, but I don't think it's the only thing. Look at like you and I.
Yep.
We've been together a year and a half, married a year and a half. We have not gone through hardship, like not financial hardship, not health hardship, no sort of infidelity, anything like that. So because we haven't gone through that, I still feel like we have a very great marriage and a very strong marriage.
Agree.
But we were strengthened from things that we did before we were married.
Yes.
And then now we're coming into that. So what do you do with that scenario?
Well, I think that we were bonded very early from hardship. You losing Sarah, me losing Jonathan. And I think that gave us an insiders where the rest of the world that around us that didn't lose their spouse, we did, and in such similar ways. I think that bonded us from the very beginning in a way that has kind of developed that core relationship with me and you.
And I think that there's a part of this that says, I think there is, for you and I think that I'm not speaking this for all widows or widowers. I'm saying that for Kelly and I, the two of us, there are things that I just don't think that someone who's not been widowed could understand.
Yes.
And I think that would have been very difficult for you and I. I think there'd been we do not, at least not that I see, and I think you have agreed with me about this before, there does not seem to be any jealousy.
Yes.
You can bring up Jonathan, I bring up Sarah, we talk about what life was before, and we're never jealous of the other. We're celebratory.
Yes.
We're, let's congratulate, let's celebrate, let's remember, let's honor. And, our house reflects that, and pictures that we have hung up, and, decorations that we have, traditions that we hold to, all of it. I feel like we do a good job, and we're able to do that because we understand each other in that way. But that's because of the hardship that we went through.
Right. And we recognize the place that our spouses had in our life, and now going forward, the space that they have. I think that could go awry if you had a couple who we're constantly living in, that was the best. That was the best that I had. You don't do things the way they did them. You don't do this the way that, and that's what I loved. And I think when people,
Yeah.
if they start treating each other like that, there's a place for your late spouse. There's a place for my late spouse. And that's not in our current relationship. Like they're still living in a relationship with us.
Right.
They helped build the foundation that we're building on
Right.
our new house on.
But we're able to see that because
Yes.
because of where we are with each other.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would say that I agree with the statement that hardships strengthen marriage. They can strengthen a marriage.
There's refining in the fire.
Yeah, there's a refining that's in the fire. I don't know that all great marriages only come just from
The fire.
from hardships. So,
Yeah.
okay, I have one more video for you.
Okay.
And then
Hopefully it's a funny one.
no, it's not.
Oh.
I didn't know you wanted funny.
I mean, you got to throw some fun in there.
My bad. My bad. All right, let's see if I can make this happen where I refresh it and then get that audio. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I've been married almost 30 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is.
It is. And I wish I had known the Lethem theory sooner. In the last 2 years, my relationship with my husband, Chris, has deepened in a way that I can't even explain because I'm not fighting against the reality of who I'm with. And he isn't either. And the hardest thing in the world, being with somebody that you love, who's a good person, and knowing they're not your person. Having the courage to really see that.
So you're married to somebody who you think is an accident, that you messed up and chose the wrong person.
Oh yeah, she's definitely saying that. She's saying that, you know,
But now she's learned how to live with it.
Well, no, she's saying that the best thing that you can do in a marriage is to basically she's saying the best thing you can do in a marriage is to stop trying to change them because you can't change who they are. So you're kind of this accepting of like who this person is and you can't change who they are and they're not trying to change you and you're not trying to change them. She has this line over here on the description and this is what she said. She said, if being with them means you have to give up your dreams or betray your values, then that's not love, that's self-abandonment.
I disagree. Biblically, I disagree with that.
Oh yeah, I give this one a 0 out of 10.
Yeah, like she's got like new age vibes happening.
I don't know about new age vibes. I would just say that she's got modern culture that says, and I wanted to bring this one out. I brought this video. Kelly didn't see these. I screened these and brought these in. And I brought this one because it's come up on my feed a couple of times. And I've seen this idea show up of, that you have to, I do agree to, there's one part that I agree with, which is that, you shouldn't be going into a marriage or you shouldn't be looking in your marriage and trying to change someone.
Yes.
Now, don't misunderstand me. If there was some moral wrongdoing that needs to be worked on, then
Well, that crops up. Because if you saw the moral wrongdoing before you married them, that's on you, boo.
well,
Unfortunately.
yeah, to some.
But it is. Like, that's what happens when you let, like,
it can't.
when you don't consider all the things.
Here's what I would say: it cannot be that you have some moral wrongdoing, marry the person anyways, and then turn around and say, "Now I want to get divorced from them because they won't." I had a scenario, true scenario. I had a couple contact me. I don't think they ever watched this. I don't think they're ever a part of this. They contacted me because they didn't know me. Some other pastor knew me, and but contacted me and began talking with them. And the whole thing is, he will not work. He won't go to work, and I have to work. She, the wife, has to work and provide for the family. And she's like, doesn't the Bible say that the man who doesn't provide for his family is worse than an infidel? And I'm like, well, it does say that. And she's very angry at the idea that she has to get up and go to work every day. And it's been like this for years, and he will not get up and go to work. And she's done with it. She's going to get up and she's going to leave. And, she claims that she always sets these boundaries, and she tells him that she's not going to put up with it and he has to get a job or else. And he says that he's going to work on it. And then he goes out, and this is like 13 years later. And, he never finds the job, in 13 years. She's like, he literally hasn't been able to find a job in 13 years, not a single time, and very angry. And I'm like, man, you totally should talk to your husband. He absolutely should have to provide. And so then I talked with the husband, and his stance was, I am trying to find a job, and she knows that, and she knows how hard it is for me, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, hold up. Have you had a job in 13 years? And he says, no, but I had not had a job for the entire 3 or 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, that they had been together prior to getting married. And so, I told her, I said, her whole thing was she was going to leave him because he wouldn't get a job. And I'm saying, you married him knowing that he was not working. And she's saying, well, I married him thinking that he was...
That would change that?
Right, that he was going to get a job because he said he was going to get a job. Now, I'm with you. Like you said, unfortunately, there's this... My point to love would be, if you truly love someone, then you are going to work through that.
Yeah.
And there are other ways besides the ultimatum. I get it. You feel like at 13 years in, you feel like you're at this tipping point that says, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that's going to make this any different is if he realizes I'm serious and I'm going to leave. Because I think deep down her hope was, okay, I'm going to threaten to leave. I'm going to pack up my bags. Maybe I'm gone for a night or two. He's going to call me groveling and apologize, and he's going to finally go get a job, and we're going to live happily ever after because he's going to have a job. But there are some deeper issues there than just... he doesn't have a job right now, or he hasn't had a job in 13 years and I have to provide for the family.
Yeah.
Because I know families that have role reversals where husband does not, he's stay-at-home husband and she works and has a great career, and they're not fighting like that. They're not giving each other ultimatums. They're,
right.
They're able to make it work. So the fact that he doesn't have a job is not the sole determining factor of where the two of you are right now. There are other issues here. But anyways, my point to that being, you cannot go into the part that I would agree with. The only part, if I was going to give it out of 10, I'd give it a 1 out of 10. And the only 1 is coming from the fact that I agree with her point of you cannot change the person. You should not go into the marriage thinking you're going to change the person,
or this marriage is going to change the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Marriage is not going to change the person. No. And you have got to accept the fact that you are marrying the person who you're marrying, who you're marrying.
And I love what you tell people in premarital. This is the best of the best that it's going to get. When you're dating somebody, they're doing all they can to impress you.
Right.
So this is literally the best. If you're not happy with the lack of impressions or anything that's happening in the dating, courting times, this is the best. This is the height of your relationship. And so, very rarely, I think, do people maybe immaturity, and so then deep into their marriage, they end up with this person that's just this amazing that they never were before. Sure, that can happen. But 99.9% of the time, this is the best. What you're dating is the best. And
I don't know that she has any scientific backing for that 99.9%, but it does seem that way. I would also just say that, it's actually just human nature. The more comfortable you grow with somebody, the more you fall into a routine with somebody. I'm not saying that it's the best of the best as in like, this is as good as it ever gets, like there's never anything. There are parts of marriage that are better than dating. Mm-hmm. Don't misunderstand me. There's deeper relationships and greater relationships that you have in your marriage than you can have when you're dating. But what I am saying is that the amount of drive that a person has to impress you, to take you out on dates and to woo you and swoon you, and like that is the part that this is this person putting their best foot forward to try to impress you. If you don't like or provide or demonstrate to you that they're going to provide, what you see out of a person as they grow more comfortable with you and they feel safer with you and feel more like this is where we are in life, the more that those kind of true colors are going to continue to show up.
And I think that there are exceptions to the rule.
Oh, sure.
I think in our relationship and then marriage, I feel like there are areas that you have gotten better. And I don't know. Okay, so in dating and even, right before dating, you didn't give me your whole self because you couldn't. You were grieving. You were in a place that you were trying to force yourself to step forward in life. And now in marriage, you do a very good job serving me and putting yourself second and doing the things that even mushy things that you're like, I'm not a mushy person. I think that's, guys don't do that kind of stuff, but you'll be mushy to a certain extent for me because it's what I love, and that I love to be asked out on a date, or I love this, and you'll go above and beyond to do those things for me because of your love for me. And
Yeah, I think that you can put an effort in to be the person, to sacrifice yourself and be the person that the other person wants. Of course, the opposite end of that is somebody who's walking in a pride, kind of what I think that she's describing in this video.
Yep.
Because I think my point of bringing this up with her is her stance is like, I'm not gonna try to change him. He better not try to change me.
Mm.
And so I don't want to end up in some place of self-abandonment. I would just say that to me,
you're supposed to abandon self.
that's the whole thing. Abandonment of yourself.
Yeah.
Literally self-abandon. Like
Yeah.
let your wants and your desires go for the other person.
Yes.
And here's the thing, when they do the same, when both parties are doing that.
Yes.
That's where the healthiest part of the relationship comes from. And I know right now there's somebody just losing their mind and they're like, no, because when I did that, he, or when I did that, she, they just took and took and took. Yeah, you are right. You can end up in a scenario where there is somebody who takes and takes and takes. And man, that is tragic.
Yes.
But there is nothing more Christ-like than to continually lay yourself down.
That's right.
And don't come at me with abuse. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm
Nope,
not talking
not
about
in any way.
I'm not talking about somebody abuse. I'm not saying let somebody physically harm you or mentally harm you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some abuse scenario. I'm talking about the person that you're saying, they're selfish and they do this and they do this and they do all these things for themselves and they never do anything for me.
Right.
I understand how frustrating that can be.
Yeah.
Continue to lay yourself down for that person because that's the commitment that you made, that you love them.
Yep.
And the best relationships come from both parties abandoning their self
Yep.
and laying themselves down for the other person.
Yes.
And otherwise, you end up in this power struggle where both parties are saying, well, I want. Well, how come you get what you want and I don't get what I want? Man, when you start doing that, I just
ugly.
I'll go to the thing that I've said. I say it all the time around the house. I don't know that I've ever really said it here, but comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
When you start comparing, you will rob your joy.
Yep.
You will steal your own joy. So in marriage, if you're constantly comparing, how many times have I apologized versus how many times they have apologized? How many times have I given up what I wanted so that I'd, give them what they wanted? You will skew that record so far.
Oh yeah.
We all do. And if you think, well, I'm going to write it down. Friends, love keeps no record of wrong.
Yeah.
That's biblical.
Yeah.
And so when you lay it down and you say, I'm going to lay my life down, I'm going to lay myself down, I'm going to lay my wants down, I am going to abandon myself.
Yeah.
That's not trying to change the other person. That is the height of the reality of I'm going to be with this person. And to say like, one of the hardest things but the best things is to realize that the person you're with is not your person. Hold up. Hold up. Nope. There was a time that you realized they were your person.
That's right.
And now you're supposed to give yourself up for that person.
That's right.
That you've realized that, that person that you've committed to be with. Because you can always talk yourself into this is not my person.
Oh, I think the majority of divorces are, we just grew apart.
Oh, yeah.
Growing apart is a choice. Growing apart is a choice.
Staying together is a choice.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
growing together is a choice.
yeah. Fighting for your relationship is a choice.
That's exactly right. And that leads me into the whole, I'm going on a girl's vacation. I'm going on a guy's vacation. I think that's the wedge. That's the wedge that gets in there and starts to...
like other things, I want to be fair to that and say I think it's a wedge.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the the breaking point.
To say, no.
Yeah, but I think
I
that
just think it's just that's what I go back to because I see these people who we grew apart. But are you investing in your relationship,
Right.
Or are you investing in your friendships?
right. But I mean, I've seen it with other things too. I mean, since we're going to throw out challenging things, I've seen the same thing happen and a lot of levels with financial. I have a checking account. She has a checking account.
Yep.
We have our joint checking account.
Yep.
I contribute. Then this is what happens. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times I've sat with men who are like, well, I contribute all this extra to the account, to the checking account. She never, especially, I mean, I've seen a scenario where here's this guy working. She's a stay-at-home mom. He puts money in her checking account, but then he holds that against her. And he's like, well, she doesn't earn anything. So it's all of my money going into our joint account. It's all of my money going into her account. And I went, well, see, your problem right there is that you've made a division between your money and her money.
Yep.
You've got a division there. And the reality of it is that everything that is yours is hers, and everything that is hers is yours. You two are one. The two became one flesh. But you've got this kind of mental division of, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm the one making the money. Of course, her stance was exactly what you can imagine. She's like, he can only go make that money because I take care of the kids and I take care of the house. And if I didn't take care of all these things, then he would have to hire somebody to take care of them or take care of them himself. So there is value to what I'm bringing. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, but hear what you're saying. Now you're doing the opposite end.
Right.
Now you're dividing off and saying, see, there's your comparison. Well, I do this, this, and this, and he doesn't ever do this, this, or this. What we have to do is say the two are one. That the house is taken care of because we're taking care of it. The bills are taken care of because we're taking care of them.
Yes.
There's money in the account because we're taking care of that. And in whatever way that you take care of that, you will never be able to be eye to eye equal. Even if you both earn money.
Yep.
It still won't matter. One will make more money than the other.
Yep.
And then it becomes a comparison. Who's contributing more, who's doing more, who's giving more, who's whatever. The biblical response is lay your life down, lay yourself down. Yeah. And opposite of what this woman was saying, abandon yourself and live for the other person. And when you do that, when both parties do that, your marriage will be in a place that is far different than where you are when you're comparing.
Yeah. Agree. What we'd like to hear from you guys is, what are you struggling with? And if you're not struggling, or you don't want to voice something that you're struggling with, if it's something we have voiced or talked about or listened to, what's something that strengthened your marriage? What's something that you've done to invest in your marriage that you think is a huge benefit?
I'd love to hear you all give a rating on those videos. I said if I was going to give it a rating out of 10, I'd love to hear what you all would rate those videos. Bryce Crawford talking about a man being willing to lay his life down for his wife. It's great advice. I almost answered it in this way. I even brought it up, but I never got back to it in the show today. But I wanted to, the gauge I wanted to use is this advice that I would give to my children?
Yeah.
I've got children getting married. Would I give them this advice? Would I look at them and say, okay, here's the advice that I would give you about your marriage? I've received lots of advice when I got married, both the first time and the second time. I've received lots of advice about getting married. Would I include this in the advice that I would give to my kids as they're looking at getting married? And 1, 2, and 3, I would be willing to give those advice. Number 4, sorry, lady.
Yeah, no.
I don't know her. She looks like I should know her, but I don't know her. I'm like, I feel like I should know her from something, but I don't know. I don't hardly know. Bryce Crawford's the only one there that I actually, follow.
Same.
That I actually follow his stuff, and I like a good majority of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining us today on Happy Chaos. I got to go get on the Happy Chaos phone, and it's like the bat phone.
You have to get on the Pastor Justin phone.
Yeah, that's right. I got to get to the Pastor Justin phone because it is.
And I've got to work on Happy Chaos stuff like our pantry and our closet.
I thought she meant the podcast. I was like, you gonna do the podcast this week? Mm-hmm. All right, guys.
It was good.
No, I didn't mean to compare.
It's a thief of joy.
That's right.
No.
All right, everybody. See y'all next week.
Happy Chaos, that's our song.